For this oral exam, I will be doing numbers 1, 4, and 5. Number 1A is explain what a quantity is, and by the dictionary definition, it is a amount or number of a material object, and to put in my own words, I would say it is any measurable unit of an object. 1B is choose an object, identify 3 quantities related to this object. The object I chose was a poster on my wall, and 3 quantities would be height, length, and then the overall surface area of that poster. Then it also asks, are they constant, varying, and explain how you know. Those 3 quantities are constant because the height and length are set for that, and the surface area is related to the height and length, so they are all 3 set and constant. 1C is give something related to this object that is not a quantity. Something that isn't a quantity related to the poster is its color. You can identify different colors, but you can't put it into a quantity. So this poster is black and gray, so that's how I would identify. Number 4A, give an example of a varying quantity. What I said a varying quantity was, if you were reading a book, what would the total number of pages read of that book be? And that would be the varying quantity. 4B is explain how to calculate change. First off, to calculate change with any quantity, it is the final value minus the initial value. So that would be, whether it's a larger or smaller number, it's the final value minus the initial is the amount of change. Calculate a change in part A. So say we read 100 pages in the book and we started from 0, the change in the number of pages read would be plus 100 because you started at 0, hadn't read any, and you read to 100. So it'd be a positive change of 100 pages read. 4C, how do positive and negative change relate to increasing and decreasing quantities, and explain why your answer is true. I said positive change is related to increasing quantities because when you do final minus initial value, you will have a larger number at the end and a smaller number subtracting that, and it leads to a positive number. And with decreasing quantities, you will have a larger number for the initial and a smaller number for the final, so you will get a negative number. And that's how negative and positive quantities relate to increasing and decreasing quantities. And for 5A says, give an example of a formula and define any variables. I just did a basic formula of y equals 2x, and I had y equaling the number of donuts eaten after diet, and x was the number of days after the diet, so it would be 2 donuts per day, varying the quantity of x, the number of days after diet. 5B is give an example of an expression and define any variables. And I just said 2x because that related to the formula I put above. And again, x would just be the number of days after diet. So an expression is just the simpler part of a formula. And then it says 5C, explain how a formula is different from an expression. Overall, a formula, the only way it's different is that it has an equal sign, and you can put multiple expressions into a formula to get an answer to get an outgoing answer from that expression.